Imagine a world where the future of football is written not just on the pitch, but in boardrooms, on spreadsheets, and through complex ownership structures that span continents. Now picture a teenager signing a contract that stretches almost a decade into the future. This is not science fiction. It is the reality unfolding at one of England's most storied and ambitious football clubs, Chelsea. Today, we are diving deep into the transfer of Mamadou Sarr from Strasbourg to Chelsea, a move that is stirring debate and could transform the face of European football as we know it. Mamadou Sarr is far from just another name plucked from the ever-fertile fields of French football. He is a 19-year-old central defender, already boasting nearly 30 top-flight appearances in a single season for Strasbourg. His performances did more than steady the ship. They were pivotal in securing Strasbourg's qualification for European competition, specifically a cherished spot in the upcoming UEFA Conference League playoff. But behind the celebratory headlines, Sarr's transfer is a story woven from threads of ambition, power, and a controversial new model that is quietly revolutionizing football's inner workings. To truly understand what is at stake, let's rewind. Chelsea is not acting solely on its own. The London-based club is part of a larger entity, BlueCo, a multi-club ownership consortium that also holds Strasbourg in its portfolio. This emerging trend is shaking the foundations of how clubs scout, develop, and transfer talent. By pooling resources, sharing scouting intelligence, and, crucially, moving players across clubs, organizations like BlueCo can navigate and perhaps sidestep traditional financial regulations. Critics worry this could be pushing the envelope, bending the rules of fair play, and giving certain clubs an unfair advantage. UEFA, the governing body of European football, is well aware and is watching with growing concern, wary of where collaboration ends and exploitation begins. For Strasbourg, the deal is a double-edged sword. On one side, there is financial stability. Multi-club ownership brings in the kind of investment that can insulate a mid-tier French club from economic shocks. It also ensures a steady influx of young, talented players, some destined to become household names. On the other side, there is the risk of identity loss. Will Strasbourg become little more than a feeder club, its autonomy and spirit diluted in service of a richer, more powerful partner? This is a question fans and observers are asking with increasing urgency. As for Chelsea, the rationale is all about strategic advantage. By signing Sarr to a contract that runs until the year 2033 and paying him a weekly wage of around £45,000, Chelsea is betting on the future. This is not the reckless gamble of the past, where clubs paid exorbitant transfer fees for established stars. Instead, it is a calculated investment, hedging on Sarr's potential to evolve into a world-class defender while also spreading the financial risk over many years. Alex Fletcher of BBC Sport captures it perfectly. This transfer showcases the symbiotic relationship between Chelsea and Strasbourg under BlueCo's umbrella, streamlining talent acquisition and development. Let's take a closer look at Mamadou Sarr's meteoric rise. His story begins in the academy of RC Lens, a cradle of talent in northern France, where he first caught the eye with his composure and technique. From there, he moved to Lyon, progressing rapidly through their youth system. It was at Lyon that he made his senior debut, stepping onto the pitch for the penultimate game of the 2022 to 2023 season. His next move was a loan spell in Belgium with RWD Molenbeek, a club known for giving young players meaningful minutes. In just 5 months, Sarr sharpened his skills, gaining crucial experience against tough Belgian opposition. When Sarr joined Strasbourg in August 2024, he was not just another squad player. Almost immediately, he established himself as a regular starter in central defense. Over the course of the season, he made more than 27 starts in Ligue 1, helping Strasbourg achieve a 7th-place finish, an impressive feat in a highly competitive league. And it's worth noting that he did this under the watchful eye of coach Liam Rosenior, who has a reputation for nurturing young talent. Rosenior is effusive in his praise. Sarr possesses the temperament, athleticism, and technical attributes to evolve into a world-class center-half, provided he remains grounded and focused. Sarr's attributes extend beyond his years. He is lauded for his exceptional recovery pace, his precise tackling, and a maturity on the ball that belies his youth. Chelsea's scouts rave about his anticipation and his ability to play out from the back, a key requirement for modern defenders. However, even prodigies have areas for improvement. Statistics reveal that Sarr's aerial duel success rate hovers around 58%. While respectable, it highlights a specific weakness that Chelsea's coaches will no doubt target for development. The club's medical team, renowned for their diligence after several high-profile injuries and past signings, reportedly spent hundreds of hours reviewing Sarr's injury history before approving the transfer. This level of caution signals a new era in recruitment, where data analytics and medical science are as important as scouting reports. One of the most intriguing aspects of Sarr's arrival is the mentorship he stands to receive at Chelsea. Veteran defender Thiago Silva, a legend of the game, is seen as the ideal role model for Sarr. There are plans for Sarr to learn directly from Silva, absorbing lessons in positioning, reading the game, and leadership both on and off the field. The hope is that this relationship will accelerate his growth, turning potential into performance. And it is not just about technical skills. Sarr's fluency in both French and English will ease his integration into Chelsea's cosmopolitan squad. Yet for all the optimism, the situation is far from straightforward. Critics, including many traditionalists, warn that Strasbourg's identity is under threat. The term feeder club is often uttered with disdain, reflecting fears that the French side will become little more than a stepping stone for Chelsea's ambitions. UEFA's stance on multi-club ownership adds a layer of uncertainty. Any tightening of the rules could disrupt the entire ecosystem BlueCo is building. A single regulatory shift, perhaps in response to mounting public pressure, could force Chelsea to radically rethink its approach. And then there is the human element. With his mentor Liam Rosenior departing Strasbourg in June 2025, Sarr faces a period of transition. Will he thrive in London, or risk being lost amid a sea of superstar signings and relentless competition for playing time? Consider the pressure Sarr now faces. London is a city of dreams, but also a crucible where only the strongest rise. Young players often struggle with homesickness, cultural adaptation, and the weight of fan expectations. For Sarr, the challenge will be to remain focused, to seize opportunities when they come, and to continue developing his game despite the distractions and temptations of Premier League life. Enzo Maresca, Chelsea's head coach, is expected to use Sarr as a rotational player, carefully managing his minutes across domestic and European competitions to prevent burnout and maximize development. Let's imagine a few possible futures. In the best-case scenario, Sarr blossoms into a defensive stalwart, forming a formidable partnership with Chelsea's established stars. His market value could soar to over £50 million, transforming him into not just a key player, but a major financial asset. Simon Johnson from The Athletic notes, Sarr's arrival bolsters Chelsea's defensive depth and versatility, essential for navigating the grind of multiple competitions. If Sarr continues his upward trajectory, Chelsea could reap enormous sporting and financial rewards. But there are other, less rosy scenarios. Picture a world where UEFA brings the hammer down on multi-club ownership, closing loopholes and making it difficult, if not impossible, for players like Sarr to move seamlessly between clubs under the same umbrella. Chelsea would be forced to look elsewhere for talent, and Strasbourg could find itself adrift, losing the financial and developmental advantages it currently enjoys. For Sarr himself, the risk is of becoming a perennial loanee, shuttled from one club to another, never quite settling, his potential unfulfilled. There is also the personal risk for Sarr. Adjusting to the intensity and scrutiny of the Premier League is not easy, even for the most talented youngsters. The competition for a place in Chelsea's first team is fierce. Sarr will have to compete with established internationals and other rising stars. The departure of his mentor Rosenior only adds to the challenge, potentially robbing him of the guidance that has been so crucial to his development so far. Some experts speculate that Sarr might benefit from another loan spell, perhaps returning to Strasbourg or joining another European club to gain more experience away from the relentless spotlight of English football. Mamadou Sarr's story is also one of legacy. He is the son of Pape Sarr, a former Senegalese international who earned 50 caps for his country and played on the World Cup stage. This heritage brings both pride and pressure. Pape Sarr himself has said, "Mamadou has the potential to surpass my achievements, and I am thrilled to witness his progress and success at a prestigious club like Chelsea." This lineage, combined with Sarr's own drive, creates a compelling narrative of ambition and generational progress. To place all of this in a broader context, let's step back and consider the evolution of multi-club ownership in football. What started as a fringe experiment is now a defining feature of the global game. The likes of the City Football Group, which owns Manchester City and clubs on every inhabited continent, have shown how networks can be leveraged for competitive advantage. BlueCo, through its stewardship of Chelsea and Strasbourg, is betting that this approach can deliver sustained success in the age of financial fair play and ever-increasing transfer fees. For football purists, this raises uncomfortable questions about the soul of the game. Are clubs becoming mere assets in global portfolios? Is the romance of the local club being sacrificed on the altar of efficiency and profit? Yet, for investors and business-minded fans, the logic is clear. Football clubs are adopting the same portfolio strategies seen on Wall Street, diversifying assets, managing risk, and seeking to optimize returns. By spreading investments across multiple clubs, organizations like BlueCo can hedge against the volatility of the football market. If one club has a bad season, another might thrive. If a player like Sarr fails to develop, there are always others in the pipeline. It is a sophisticated, data-driven approach that is changing how clubs are run and how success is measured. This shift has profound implications for young players. The days when a club was an isolated entity, nurturing local talent through a linear academy system, are over. Now players must be adaptable, ready to move across borders, cultures, and playing styles. The success of Mamadou Sarr will depend not just on his talent, but on his ability to seize opportunities, learn from mentors like Thiago Silva, and navigate the corporate machinery that now shapes modern football. His willingness to embrace new challenges and his eagerness to absorb the wisdom of veterans could be the secret to his ascent. So, as we look ahead, the question remains, will Chelsea's audacious strategy pay off? If Sarr flourishes, the club's leadership will look visionary, setting a blueprint for rivals across Europe. But if regulations tighten, or if Sarr struggles to adapt, Chelsea could face a costly setback, one that might prompt a broader reckoning with the risks of the multi-club model. The next 2 or 3 seasons will be decisive, not just for Sarr and Chelsea, but for the future direction of European football itself. And here's an intriguing detail. Chelsea's medical team, having learned from past mistakes, invested literally hundreds of hours in examining Sarr's injury history. They wanted to leave nothing to chance, ensuring that their multi-million-pound investment was as safe as possible. This is part of a larger trend where clubs deploy teams of analysts, doctors, and sports scientists to scrutinize every potential signing, changing the way teams are built from the ground up. For fans and aspiring players, the lessons are clear. Understanding the business side of football is no longer optional, it's essential. Whether you dream of playing in the Champions League or investing in clubs, knowing how these networks operate will shape your future. Sarr's journey is a masterclass in adaptability, resilience, and the power of mentorship. Now the ball is in your court. What do you think? Are multi-club networks the future of football, or do they risk killing the soul of the game? Is Chelsea's approach genius or folly? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the economics and technology transforming global sport, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our next analysis.